This is video recording 3 for Melody Charbonneau.
Okay. So, when I read that letter that Dad gave me, it was really weird because, well, first of all, I wasn't really sure if I understood exactly what was going on in the letter, because it was like, it had like something that he said and then it had like what I was supposedly saying, but I never actually said that, but I was kind of confused what he was actually trying to get at. And then, like, it was like really long, and I felt like he could have said it a lot shorter. But I mean, that's sweet, but I don't know, it was just really long. And then, I don't know, like, when I think it was the third or second page at the bottom where he said that he was, like, actually sorry, and that definitely took me by surprise, and it made me really happy. But I'm also kind of worried that it's, like, not gonna be, I don't know, like, I'm not sure, it's like uncharted territory. Dad to say he's sorry is like uncharted territory. I don't know if I really, like, I feel like it's something that's never really happened, so part of me thinks that that means that things are changing and he's maybe changing, or there's possibility of change, but at the same time, it's never happened, so I feel like maybe it's just going to stay the same and nothing will change. And so I feel like it's hard for me to know how I feel about it, I guess.
You feel conflicted because you don't really understand what's going on with Dad.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's sincere. And even if it is sincere, it doesn't always mean that it's actually changing anything. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. You don't understand. No, sorry.
That's okay.
You don't know if what he's saying is really what he feels like. But even if it is what he really feels in his heart, you're not sure if it's going to make a difference in your guys' relationship and the way he responds to you.
Exactly. And so I'm kind of nervous to talk to them still, because I don't know, like, I don't know how it's going to go, and I want it to go well, but I'm also kind of afraid of confrontation, so I really just kind of want to avoid it, but I know it's important, so I don't know. Like, part of me is just tired, because I'm sick, I'm tired, and I'm just tired of running around and not being able to just go home and sleep, like, being out of, like, I broke my, like, you have a routine of your life, and when you break it, it makes you tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tired of not being able to just sleep. It's been, in a way, it's been nice, because I can, like, go where I want when I want to go there. I don't have to, like, report every movement. But you still kind of want that, whatever, that normalness. So, I'm kind of ready for this to be done.
You're feeling a little worn out because you're outside of your normal routine.
And it doesn't, like, yeah, and it doesn't help that I'm sick. So I'm extra tired. And then all this stuff is happening, so I'm, like, brain and physically tired. And it's just tiring. So, but I just want to skip talking to them. Like, I want it to just be better, and then everything be back to normal. Like, because I don't want the confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah. So, you're feeling a little bit conflicted about talking with Mom or Dad. You're unsure about what's going to happen, and you really want it to go back to normal, but then you don't.
I'm kind of worried that because I want it to go back to normal, like, I'm worried that, you know how some people are in, like, an abusive relationship and they'll constantly go back, even just because that's their normal.
Yeah.
And I'm scared that that's kind of where I'm coming from sometimes, and I don't want it to be like that. So it's like, I don't know exactly where that line is between, like, because I want it to be normal, but I want it to change also. But since I'm craving that normality, I feel like I might go back and then it would be the same. Or that I might go back on terms that aren't to the standards that I've set up just because I want it to be normal again.
So you're afraid that you won't be able to hold yourself to the things that you decided.
Yeah. Like, that's something that Haley was talking to me about. She was like, well, if you said that these are your standards and they have to change in these ways, if they don't change, that basically means that you are moving out. Like, you have to realize that and you have to stick up to that. I was like, oy! Like, let's not talk about that. Because I don't want that to happen, but I guess I have to realize that that could be an option. But I feel like since they are putting so much effort in, I feel like that's not an option, but I think I might be saying that just because I don't want it to be an option. But I feel like there is a good amount of hope because they have been trying so hard. But then I'm also worried because, like, I haven't really talked to them. So, like, when I think there's hope, I'm already kind of assuming that they're going to let me date Shane still. But since I haven't talked to them, I don't really know what their plan is, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But that's kind of, since they're treating me that way, it would seem like that's how it's going to be, but I don't really know because I haven't talked to them about it. Which also kind of makes me worried because in my head, that's a for sure. But they haven't told me that, so I really have no proof behind that fact. Like, in my head, that's a fact. That since it was an assumption that since they were acting that way and, like, everything seemed like it was going okay, that meant that they were okay with it. Even though they're not okay with it, but they were okay with, like, letting that happen under their roof.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't agree with it. But I don't know. It's hard. And it's like, it goes up and down. Like, it's not always that bad. Like, people ask me, they're like, how are you? I was like, right now I feel great. And then they're like, how are you? I was like, I feel horrible. But yeah, I don't know. Because it's like sometimes you don't really think about it. And then, I don't know, like I said, I'm kind of to a point where it's like, when I'm deciding where I'm going to stay, I kind of calculate who is going to want to know every instant of, like, what's been going on. Like, when I stay at Molly's house, she wants to know, like, everything that's happened since she heard last. And it's like, sometimes you just kind of want to sit and, like, not talk about it and just kind of sit. Mm-hmm. But she wants to know, like, exactly what's happening and all that stuff. But I kind of, and it's like, there's so many people that want to know, and I just, you have to repeat the same thing over and over. And then you forget something and somebody else heard something and that person didn't hear it, and then they're like, oh, you never told me that. It's like, I'm trying. But it's hard to remember exactly what happened. I'm not very good at repeating stories, I guess, after a certain time especially. And especially, like, if I tell it a couple times, because then I can't remember who I told what.
Right.
Which can cause issues. Not really bad issues usually, but...
You're a little bit... Again, you're worn out from all of this, and having to repeat the story to everybody, and you sound like you're just ready for it to be over.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I really want it to work out the way that I want it to work out. Like, I don't want it to just be over and then still end in a way that made it all pointless. Like, I want it to be worth the struggle.
You want this to have made a difference in your life.
Definitely. But that's not something I entirely have control over. So, I don't know. I think it'll work out. Like, obviously, in the end, it's gonna be what it is, and it'll be fine. Like, but there's definitely a way that I want it to happen. not always, everything isn't always in my control. Because I feel like Mom is on my side in a way now.
Mhm.
And I feel like it really surprised me how Dad was, like, acting. So, I don't know. But, I don't know, yeah.
So you're feeling a little bit optimistic because you think that Mom's ready to help you out and Dad seems like he might be changing.
Yeah.
But I also get the feeling that you feel a little bit concerned at the same time because you're afraid that just because Dad appears to be changing doesn't mean that anything's really going to change.
Exactly. Because I don't, like, I've never been at this point with him, so I don't know what to expect, and I don't like not knowing what's, like, I like to know, I don't like being in that place where you're unsure of everything, especially for a long period of time, and that's where I feel like I've been for a while, so.
You're worried because you can't figure out what's going on and where things are going to go from here.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I think that's about 10 minutes, maybe a bit more. And so we talked a little bit about how you've been feeling about Mom and Dad and how things are going for you lately. And you're a little bit concerned because you don't really want to talk to them, but you kind of do, and you're not sure how that's going to play out.
Yeah.
Right. So this was video recording 3 for Melody Charbonneau.